Give me a second here to check my signal. Make sure that we're up and running. We'll get to work here in a moment. If you're already familiar with the channel, you can skip ahead a minute. I'll catch you on the other side of the bump. Let's see. I want to go to my channel and then video, see if I'm playing. My channel. It looks like, yeah, it looks like I'm playing, and the sound sounds pretty good off that kick. So let me grab this link here. And then we'll get started. So, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online. And I'm creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999. I've been an Eberron enthusiast in the worlds of D&D since 2004-ish, and I've been creating content on the DMsGuild since 2018, but I've never published an adventure. So that's what the Crystals of Mabar is. It's the first adventure that I've written myself for publication. I've ran hundreds of games, I'm sure, but I've never published any of them. They're all just demonstrative. So I'm changing that to be something that people can consume, and we're illustrating it right now. So if you think today's session is fun, you can like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Hey, thanks a lot, new subscribers. Really appreciate that. Here's the full playlist of all 421 episodes, my Discord community, Patreon support if you want to help me that way. Here's a ton of books, which is preferred. Check out my books. If you think any of them are cool, consider making a purchase to encourage more behavior. I will tell you this. I am one sale away from the Color Mana system from becoming a gold medal bestseller. If you think that system is cool, consider picking that up. But we're going to, this is the book cover we created around episode 40. You can check that out here. That's about how big it will appear on the rack on DMsGuild, like that. And we are making, this is the illustration that we've been stuck on for like the past 3 weeks. And so I stream in the morning, Monday through Friday, like this for about an hour and a half. And so this is like a 25-hour painting at this point. That's it's longer than I anticipated spending, but I like it. So I'm not gonna cry about it. It is what it is, and what it is right now is long time to create. So let's take this guy here, and you know, I'm looking at this cornucopia sort of look at, and I'm less excited about it today than I was yesterday. So that's an indication that I should probably do away with it. Let's grab some of these light effects here. And drop down into here. I'm just going to be working on this for a bit. Make this Yugoloth pop. I'm going to drop this all the way down like that. Yeah, okay, I see how you are. It's like a wrestling belt sort of look. I'll bring this over. I want a similar outfit so that there's easier image identification for people that are not familiar with what a Yugoloth is. It feels important to me. Let's merge down here. Like that. So like I said, I stream 10 times per week. Monday through Friday in the mornings like this. We stream on Tuesday and Friday at lunchtime. And then we stream in the evenings on Mondays and Thursdays, including tonight. So I'm going to be back on this evening. Once we finish today, I'll be this morning. I'll be back on tonight around 6 p.m. Seattle time. It's 6:45 now. So basically, I'll stream till 8 a.m. here, and then 10 hours later, I'll jump back on and be on from like 6 till 9 tonight to work on the Bastion campaign system, which is converting the Bastion system from Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition DMG 2024 into more of a game mechanic for players to have risk and reward die rolls when operating their Bastion facilities, as opposed to just being a narrative experience of just simply telling the DM what you do and it happens. We can ramp up the risk rewards of it by setting a goal for your for what your Bastion is doing, and then rolling to see how well your Bastion does it or if they fail. Bring that arm down a tick. Then let's put in behind that. And let's put this all back in here like that. There we go. That feels about balanced. Let's bring this down. Anatomy, man. Doesn't matter how good you get, anatomy is always something that can stick in the craw. It's worth doing right, so it's worth taking some time to do. I mean, granted, I mean the size here, the scale is minimal. It's not like this is probably the scale that you're going to be looking at this. Here, let's full screen this again real quick. Realistically, this is the scale that we're going to look at it. So I don't need to hyperfixate on the anatomy so much, but I am. Because I can. I'm going to have to relax that stance a little bit as I work through the rest of the document, because I still have... there might only be like a dozen or so illustrations like this that I need to do, but they need to be done. So I need to make sure I'm not overcommitting myself, and that I have the emotional and mental endurance to finish the job. One of the reasons why I stream every day is to make sure I show up and push pixels every day to get stuff moving forward. Kind of like every day I move forward and get some more of the page layouts done for this book. And it is not as intuitive of a process that I would like it to be. So it takes time. But once I get those page layouts done, we'll be able to do artwork in the evening as well as in the mornings like this. We'll make a lot more progress. So that's coming along okay. Let's bring these ribs in a bit here. Let's grab a duck bit like that. There. So we'll be working on the Bastions campaign this evening. Inkimoto, what is up? How you doing? Welcome back. Inkimoto, what is up? How you doing? Welcome back. So we're just gonna pick a. I do a lot of pushing with my brush. I do a lot of. The three brushes I use primarily is my brush, my eraser, and then my smudge tool. So that's basically the three tools that I use to do anything. The two type of smudge tools I use is this guitar pick shape that you can see has a hard edge here that pushes through pretty easily, but it has a soft edge here that blurs down as well. And then the other smudge brush that I use is like this cloud brush that is really good at making things fog over, like the blend. So the pick is good for pushing. And the cloud and this cloud chalk brush is good for blurring. So between adding, subtracting, and then blurring pixels, that's basically the only three brushes I need for whatever art that I do. Of course, I use a selection tool so I can push things around as well. But so between those three brushes, I add and remove paint, and then as you can see here, I spend a lot of time actually like pushing my pixels around the page, like sculpting like it's clay. And God, we were talking about that recently. This makes it feel like the digital environment it's a virtual space, right? It doesn't have any actual tactile sensation, but the tablet that I use and the pen pushing the pixels around on the page feels more. It has a more tactile sensation to me that way. So let's see. This guy's getting a little wide in the hips, so I need to bring this down a tick. This is actually a little bit big. So I'm going to grab this here, like that. Cutty pasty, free transform. I want to squeeze this in a bit here like that, and get a little bit of an angle going. There. So it just feels like a better posture. It was starting to bend a little weird, and I didn't like it. Hey, right on. All hail the office job. Keeper of the bureaucracy. I'm gonna really just fucking drop the anchor on this guy. Just stop screwing around with a little bit and get some color on in here. Actually, the opposite of that, using some black line art to help shape the anatomy a little bit better. It's starting to wash out a little bit, so the solution to when your colors wash out is just add in some black and refocus. So we're just going to fill in all these bits. Let me merge this down. There. There. I see some text. Give me a second to catch up. What's up? So do you? Okay, it's an advertising office and agency. I'm a graphic designer, but yes, I still hate. I'm possibly jealous of your job. This is not my job. I have a day job as well. I actually work at a marketing agency as well. I do analytics and stuff. So this is my escape from the bureaucracy. But honestly, if I didn't have a day job, I wouldn't be able to appreciate this artwork at all. This is an escape hatch for me from the media. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm jealous of this work as well. I have 2 weeks out of the year that I get to be a full-time game designer, and it's in May during my birthday, and then in the holiday season in winter between Christmas and the New Year. Those are the 2 times I take a week off of work and do design and just pretend that I'm a full-time designer, like I could be someday maybe. But I can treat this as a hobby because I have a stable day job. It affords me the opportunity to not have to worry about the decisions that I make when I'm doing artwork or game production. Like do I need to? Like the last thing I want to do, like if I want to make a mass combat system for 5e, the last thing I want to worry about is this going to make enough money for me to justify the time taking to do it? I don't care. As a hobbyist, right? I can approach this from the art perspective of is this going to bring me joy to produce, and not have to worry about like absolutely how long it's going to take for me to make it, or like how much artwork do I need. I don't have to shortcut anything. I can jump online and build something from the beginning to end and not have to worry about the consequences of is it going to be successful or not. So one of the reasons why I started streaming, well, the primary reason I started streaming in the first place was to overcome burnout. Because if I started having a channel and built a routine around getting artwork done every day, then I'll get artwork done every day. That becomes the routine. So the act of the channel helps complete the book. I'm going to rearrange myself in my chair, as I frequently do. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I got 30 seconds left on my timer, so that's going to pop here in a second. Here's the edge of my screen that's concealed by the blurb. Hope to monetize the hobby, but until then, I just have to keep. Yeah, no kidding, right? You have a group that charges for being D&D game masters, and we're trying to spread the hobby here in Peru. Oh, right on, welcome. We're trying to make a living from RPGs. You're incredibly inspiring. Eventually, yeah. So my idea is that if I can, the longer I can preserve the spirit of this being a hobby, and what the deuce happened there? Am I still streaming or what? What the fuck happened there? Okay, that was weird. Am I still? Let's see. Text check. Yeah, okay. Looks like it's still working. Yeah, okay, good. I broke my shit for a second there. Right. The longer I can preserve this as a hobby, the more I can reinforce the mentality, the ideals that I'm attempting to promote as a hobby. And that sounds almost like nonsense language. Hold on, let me. I've got this little gap here. I can see. There. I'm absolutely paranoid about my gaps. There. All right, let's get back at it. There. Yeah, the longer I can preserve it as a hobby, the more I can remain pure in the stuff that I'm doing, the less I have to worry about, yeah, the decision making, you know? And that sounds louder than it probably should be. Maybe that's why I'm over here. I don't want to mute it because then it's going to think I've got bots going. I don't want to be so loud that I can literally hear myself. But I don't want to be silenced because if I can't hear myself yammering in the background, I won't know if my stream gets disconnected or not. And then I'll be yammering into the void for like an hour with literally no one hearing me. It just happened before. So is this the right height? Yes, actually it is. Good. So we're going to put a little bulge here in the fold of the cloth so that it starts to curl over the belt a little bit. There's a lot I could do to monetize the stuff that I'm doing more so than I do currently, but it's just my muse is not motivated to worry about how much I'm monetizing this stuff, you know, or how much am I selling my stock art or blah blah blah. It's like that stuff will take care of itself if I do this right and stay pure with the effort, the intent of what I'm doing. All that back end stuff, it's going to sort itself out. It's going to become what it's supposed to become, whether I like it or not. I'll just find myself making decisions that lead me down a path. And again, I'm very much a proponent of having destiny and what's the agency versus fate, right? I am convinced that we are fated to take certain actions as part of our life, and the free will is our response to those inevitable actions. And the more I can saturate those inevitable actions with my own perspective of appreciation, the more I give myself permission to let my fate become more outrageous, because I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to witness it. I think life wants to go off the rails. I think there's a higher version of ourselves that's looking down or into this reality from a much brighter vantage point that can see beyond the moment of time that we subject ourselves inside this construct, and that it's playing a video game. It sees like the rest of the screen, but we as characters can only see what's like immediately in front of us in the next step. So we're guiding ourselves through this reality by the nose, intentionally keeping ourselves at this level unaware of what's coming down the pipe, because it's the simple act of being surprised by life itself that feeds us emotionally. It is to experience life is the goal of life. There is no greater objective to it. Just rack up some hours of gameplay. And at this point in time, we're all evolved enough as souls that we're basically all speedrunning, like top performers in the game of life that we're depicting. And so that mentality allows me to not worry about my decisions so much. Maybe it's just a coping mechanism, but if I am, it works really well. It's an excellent way for me to cope with not having control over what is actually going to happen in my life, and instead just look at it from a point of view of, you know, I don't know there's a jump coming up, but I know I can double jump. So when I hit that jump, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get across to the other side. There's no weird trickery. You know, I just don't know when I'm going to have to jump, and that can be scary. And that's life. So if I'm motivated to just log on and punch in some hours and make some drawings and stuff, then that's all life is expecting of me right now. I don't have to overcomplicate it. Just enjoy being here doing this. And if this leads to more experiences that lead to more of this, then this continues to be the path that I'm supposed to be on. So in the meantime, I'll appreciate the day job that I have that affords me the opportunity to do things like this, to be able to log in, log out, and put in honest days of work, and then bounce away from that without having to think about it until the next day. That's about as heaven as I can expect right now in this life. So, getting philosophical this morning. Don't mind me. Let's grab that so we can... Come on, buddy. No, sure. Like I said, it's just me coping with circumstances that are beyond my control. I don't know why I can't get this down to black for the life of me, but I need to have... There we go. This darker patch here needs to curve through. There. Hey, kudos to you and your team for creating online experiences or a paid DM sort of setup. That's awesome. Scrap, that's a good color. Apparently not. There. I'm going to spread these out a little bit here. Bring this in. I'm being really nitpicky. I'll put in the teeth. I like this teeth edging that it has there. I think that's fun. So we will incorporate that. It's just we're not quite there yet. So I'm just going to get... Yeah, there we go. Bring that in. Here. Like that. Abs. Get some of them abs going. You might be an alien, but you still gotta look svelte. Even aliens have to have abs. That feels good. And let's look at the filigree on here just a smidge more. Nope. Here. Nope. Here. So why am I... Hold on. I have to... Smoothing 10%, flow 100%, opacity 100%. I don't seem to be getting the depth of there it is. So we'll be back at tonight in about 9. It's 7 o'clock now, so we'll be back in 11 hours at 6 p.m. tonight. We'll continue with the Bastion campaign supplement that we've been creating to create ability checks and skill challenges for characters that want to command a Bastion facility, to create a risk-reward system and reason for characters to throw more dice around. The Guild Delver role-playing game that I've been developing at my home table has really leaned into and embraced the guild turn. to basically make ability checks that generate the adventuring. So if you fail a bastion check to produce something or research something, or every time the die roll fails, it creates a reason for why you failed, which generates the adventure for your characters to go on to resolve whatever complication arose from your guild attempting to achieve a goal. So it sort of displaces the player perspective to become the organization as a whole, not just an individual character, but all of the hirelings and NPCs and mercenaries and stuff that work inside of your bastion, or your guild or your business or your settlement or whatever. Expands on that perspective for the players to become responsible for all of the NPCs and all of the hirelings and stuff inside of that bastion. And the ability checks are representing how well those hirelings are working together to achieve the goals that have been issued to them by the characters. And when they fail their die roll, something has gone wrong. Something has arisen that is beyond their capacity to resolve. So then they have to call upon the characters to help achieve. Like, we ran into this complication. We need your help, and that becomes your character's adventure seed. And it's a style. It's almost like a hex crawl style of gameplay where the business decisions that you're making for your organization is what generates the adventures. So you set goals for yourself and the organization, and if you succeed your die rolls, you progress that storyline, and your bastion or your guild or whatever increases in power or produces the thing that you wanted or whatever. Which, progresses your actual goals. And then when something goes wrong, a complication arises that adds depth to the world of here's all geopolitics are breaking down right now, preventing you from getting a shipment of iron ore or whatever that ends up being. I'm going to give this guy a tilt. He feels like he needs to get tilted. There. Slide him over a bit. There we go. So we continue to develop that document. That's what we'll be doing tonight for a few hours. And yeah, we'll see where we get at. We've been breaking down what each facility inside the Bastion is capable of providing to the characters, like what benefits it provides. We're getting close to the end of that cycle, and once that's done, we'll be able to then restructure what can each order do, and then we can dive further into the complications that arise. I'm just about done. I'm just about ready to add in filigree along the edges here. So let me grab. I'm going to have to drop this down in the black again to get the lines right. There. Get the structure lined up, and then we're going to line it with, I don't know, gold or platinum or whatever color it is that guy's got going along on his gear. But yeah, I'm really into procedures in role-playing games, like the very, very old versions of D&D, the very Beck Me days in first edition. It was all about procedures. What die roll do we, like, what do you want to do? What die roll is associated with it? What happens if you roll high or low? Like, what's your success rate and stuff? And there we go. This needs to be in here like that. And that's going to solve. There we go. There, there it is. There it is. Now we're getting that fabric to push out a little bit and add depth to the form. I can't have his pec come out too much. It should be more like in here. That's where everything joints together. There we go. Arms are a little bit big, so I think I need to bring... Because when these things sweep in, they're going to be down around his hips. Where this is his rib cage is here. So that's as far down as his elbows should probably actually be. So I'm going to take this whole arm here. I'm going to cut it off. Just cut it right off. There you go, buddy. And then let's bring these in. So they fit a little bit better. This guy over here, he has to have his arms cut off. Sorry, buddy. Cut, paste, pop, pop. Now those arms are gone. Nothing worse than when you like how when you're really rendering a piece and realize that your anatomy is wrong. Like, shit. What do I do with all this detail work that I just did? Well, we cut and we paste, which is why the cut paste tool, the highlighter, is the fourth sculpting tool that I use most often, because my anatomy is often wrong. But thankfully, the process of creating the art can reveal most often to me when it is flawed for me to fix. So let's get these wings built correctly, like that. I see some text down there. Hold on real quick. Let me catch up with you. So. Oh, right on, man. See you later. Yeah. Oh, man. Drop into my Discord at some time and share some artwork in the art channel. You are most welcome to if you want. Put this block in here like this. Yeah, I often make the process of detailing work. I thought you were gone. Yeah, the process of detailing stuff often makes that piece of anatomy larger than it should be, because I add most often instead of subtract, so things tend to get bulkier as I focus on them and give them more detail. But then I cut them loose and then resize them to actually fit the anatomy structure that they're supposed to be inside of. So it's another inaccuracy of mine that I could probably make more efficient to be able to finish pieces more quickly. But oh well. That's my struggle. Let's lock this in here like that. And there we go. Timely timer, keeping time. Thank you, timer. I got like what, another? God, I got another 40 minutes. Jesus. Time is in my favor these days. There we go. And there. That's about where the shoulder blade is at. Like this sweeping through here and this sweeping down here puts the joint around here. Like that. So this is about where it needs to be. And then here's ribs down in here. Here's the pit and here. So when we add our arm back in, see, we can immediately tell it's too big. So we can bring this down. Oops. What the hell? Get out of here, scallywag. About like that. Shoulder. Better. Whoop. Free transform. Bring this down a smidge. Angle. Bring this to the back, behind the form. Better. Better, better, better. Now let's grab this guy's head here again. Oops, add not subtract Kearney. There you go. Cut paste. The neck itself is a little thick. Thin that up there like that. Neck piece up like this. Bring his throat up like that. Here. Like that. There we go. Ooh, man, I got tension in my legs. I can feel it. All right, I don't know if I like this head or not. I'm going to duplicate this layer. This head's pissing me off again. Yeah, this cornucopia look just doesn't seem to be panning out. So I'm going to drop this away. I want it to work. It just doesn't. Yeah, I know I spent some time detailing that yesterday. It just isn't working out, though. I don't like it. So it's got to go. This is looking already better. already better. My phone did a thing. Give me a second here. Okay. Looks like everything's right. Everything's right in the world. There we go. Get another sip of coffee here. Yeah, this already feels better. So let's merge this all down together. Like that. Now we're cooking. Good. Bring that in a snidge. Cool. Come on. This lighting's a bitch. Thank you. Get the crease in. Crease. Crease here. Bring that in. Here, like, okay, great. Now we're back to where we're supposed to be. This hip's still flaring a little more than I want, so I'm gonna cut that paste to thin free transform. Change the angle, curve it in a little bit. Like that. And then we can merge that down. Let's look at how his hip's working over here. Okay. So I'm going to block that in here. And then we'll grab our black here. He's got a cape. here, and then to here. There we go. Good. Let's fix his hand. God, what a tragedy. Let's work that form in there. One, two. Okay, you got human hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. The palm here is just basically a block. And then the finger, his thumb comes off here like this. I'm gonna make sure I don't exaggerate the pose too much because it doesn't feel natural. Here. That's over exaggerated, so let's bring that in a touch. There we go. Bring that in. For transform. Tilt. Reduce. Now we're looking at free transform here. Good. And then here. That's already lining up. So then here, we'll grab this block like that. We'll cut, paste, transform, reduce, position, enter here. Transform, reduce, merge, free transform, bend a bit, background. Now, that feels much better. Let's take some of this darker bit here and drop it into the piece. Free transform, merge down, push. Like that. Let's take a black again. There. Bring that form in nice and tight. We'll darken up this bit here for the shadow to help create the negative space. Drop that in here like that. Push that out. Smooth it in. Just about ready for the teeth. There we go. Here. There. Let's merge this back down here. There we go. And we're pushing this in. Yeah, like that. That feels better already. Gotta think slim, so I need to bring these hips in. They're a little bit. I tend to put this little out sweeping flare at the bottom of things, and it often ends up giving a bell shape to characters that should not be bell shaped. Like this guy should be very, string bean, very, very skinny, lithe even, if that's a word to use for it. But my pear shaping is contrary to that anatomy. So let's get this here. This doesn't need to be amazing, it just needs to be serviceable anatomy. There, that feels pretty good. Appropriate. That is now in a good position here. I like that. Bring this arm in just a little bit more, just to give that tricep a little bit of character. I'll bring this bicep a bit, curve this. There we go. Sculpt these fingers in a bit. It'll be more of a pinch. Nope, that was the wrong way to do it. Let's take that back. There you go. Just leave that be, Kearney. That's fine. Let's bring this. Almost there. Let's merge this down. The coloring on the head isn't matching the rest of the body, so I need to adjust. Thank you, Timely Timer. So smooth that out. The Cyclopsian nature of this form, it reduces the emotional expression on its face significantly. It doesn't have as much of a sinister look to it as the reference document. But that's okay. Go. This might be more attention invested than it really deserves, but Alas, earwax, you know? Here we are. Thank you. That's helping a lot. There, that's looking good. I like the shape of that. I like the shape of that. It's good. There we go. Gooder. Let's bring that in a little bit more. Process of adjusting his neck means I have to adjust his clavicles, which means I have to shift a whole bunch of anatomy around. So let's push that up here so the anatomy is correct. That's what happens. You do a correction on the anatomy and you got to start correcting everything. It's just an endless cascade of corrections. What a pain. But it's already looking better. So it's a necessary evil. So much better already. There we go. Okay, cool. I like that. So let's start working on filigree. I'm gonna add on a new layer here. Let's put these little teeth in. And then we're going to put an underlayer. Like this. So you can separate them without breaking any of the underlying stuff that we've done already. There you go. That feels pretty good. Oop, I see. That's a wrong. Let's grab this. There we go, something like that. There we go. There we go. Just give him a big Mabaran, like he's Super Mabar. Give him a Mabar emblem on his belt. In case it wasn't obvious with his eye, we're going to just continue with this. When in doubt, add a symbol to Mabar. Maybe it's lazy design. Maybe it's Maybelline. Yeah, he wears a jersey for his team. Let's take all of that and drop it a bit. Get rid of that here. teepees. Start blending these things into the garment so they aren't so they don't hang on, but instead grow out of it. So a little bit of just smudgery will take care of that. How are we doing on time? We got like what, like 10 minutes left maybe? Exactly. Not quite 10 though. This is super close to done. I might end up spending a few minutes of time with this guy tonight, just to cap him off so we can make sure we come back. Because after we get this guy done, all we have to do is add fog effects into between the undead to help them to separate them from each other a little bit better. That's not bad. We're almost where I want to be. That hand gesture is still a little cheap. Yeah, I'll keep those separated. Tilt that up a smidge. Like that. That already feels better. There we go. Yeah. All right, I'd love to stick around, but I got to go. So I'm going to bounce for now. We'll finish this up tomorrow. It'll be good. And yeah, I like how this guy is sitting. That's looking pretty good. The face, the head has a little bit. What is going on over here with you? The head has a little bit different lighting than the rest of the body, so I'm going to have to resolve that. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with the anatomy. I'm liking the pose. Yeah, this is turning out fine. Okay, cool. So that's it for now, guys. I'm gonna bounce out of here. I'll be back in about 10 hours. We'll be back on to play with the Bastion campaign supplement for a few hours. Yeah, thanks for sticking around, hanging out. Anyone that's new to the channel, welcome. Like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. I will see you all on the other side. Thanks a lot.